Hello everybody, I am Chicken Lord, better known as Chicken, and I'm just gonna give you some really basic aim tips. Honestly, not even aim tips, it's more aim theory more than anything, but I don't see a lot of people understanding it, and I think it needs to be addressed better than how it is. I'm gonna start off by defining what aim is at its core, and it's just your ability to move your crosshair from one place to another, intentionally. You should not, when we're thinking about just pure aim, we should not be thinking about movement. We should not be thinking about crosshair placement. We're just trying to focus on aim, and when we're improving aim, you should be only improving in aim. That's why an aim trainer is better than using the range, because in the range, you're practicing actual gameplay. You can fix a lot of your errors with movement, which is a good thing, but we're trying to improve our actual aim, and this aim should be able to be applied to different games that is not just Valorant. So let's talk about the... Honestly, there's more, but I think you could break it down to 3 fundamental aim types. I would say tracking, which is your ability to keep your crosshair on a target. It could be moving target, it could be staying on target. Most of the time they will be moving though, but it's just your ability to track. Okay, these are bad. Let me have them stand still. Just your ability to track a target while moving, or if they're moving, you should be able to track. If you're moving, you should be able to track. Yada yada. My tracking honestly really bad. I'm a Valorant player. It shouldn't really matter. And second one, definitely click timing. Click timing covers a bunch of things like flicking, there's micro corrections, all that other stuff. But it's your ability to flick, and even if you overflick, you should be able to hit the target. It's just knowing when to click, basically. Going into depth about that is really hard, but it's just knowing when to click. Because you can, even if you overclick, if you know when to click, you're able to hit the shot. Kind of what click timing is, it's very hard to break these very large topics into simple sentences or just into a couple words. But that's click timing. And then target switching would be how fast you're moving between targets. This is better for those faster paced games, more so arena shooters like Quake and other things, where tracking would be for Apex and Overwatch. But Valorant, click timing is important. You want to be training all 3. I'm not going to go over how you can train all those 3. It's hundreds of aim guides or aim scenarios, routines, whatever you want to call them, that will help with that. But yeah, actually, okay. And then moving on to actually improving these aim things, you should be using an aim trainer. Honestly, there's only so much you can do in Valorant. This is all horizontal. I mean, you can go over here, you can get some verticality. This will help a little bit. But there's just no real point to do that. But when you're aim training, I would recommend aim labs or Kovacs, obviously. Look at a scenario, but it should be focused on these micro corrections. So that would be like that, like really small movements. And when you're actually aim training, don't think of it as a warm-up. It should be separate. I would prefer if you aim train after you play Valorant, or after you finish your game session, rather than before you play your game session. Because warming up and aim training should be 2 different things. Warming up is when you're not pushing for speed, because I see some people, let's just go like, I see some people warm up and they're doing elim and they're pushing for speed. They're gonna kill this bot and then they're gonna move as fast as they can, and that's just no point. That's technically aim training. It's pushing your limits farther than you're comfortable with, basically. And that's why there's a misconception about you should slow down your aim. One, you should not slow down your aim, but you should be able to, you should move your crosshair at an aim you're comfortable, or a pace you're comfortable with. If you are flicking really sporadically or just flicking really far off, so when you're pushing for this, when you're aim training, you're going to be pushing for speed, right? Alright, when you're warming up, you should be, warming up. You see these runners, you don't see them full sprinting, or you don't see these basketball players running laps across the court, doing insane, except they're just warming up their body. For you, it'd be just warming up your arm, warming up your other hand for your movement, all the other stuff. But when you're warming up your aim, we're not gonna talk about movement, mechanics, whatever. You just want to make sure it's clean. It should be fast. You should be comfortable. Shouldn't be pushing for a speed that you're not comfortable with. Should be fairly high accuracy, precise, whatever. I mean, obviously, if you want, you can go faster. If you want, you can go faster, but warm up should be warm up. Then that brings me back to aim training. When you are aim training for anything, really, mostly More specifically, there's 2 ways to go about it. You can start off slow, playing high accuracy, so that'd be like, okay, make sure I never miss, I'm on target, yada yada, and then build speed over time. Or you can just go for pure speed, which would be just those really fast flicks. And that's just pushing for pure speed, and once you get faster and faster, you can worry about accuracy after. But honestly, for Valorant, I think going for speed is the only thing that really matters. Speed at which you're able to micro-correct your crosser. Let's say if your crosser is off the target, you're able to correct really fast. That's going to be more important than having the high accuracy. Because half the time, if you are looking at this angle,
right here,
and they're this angle, you're gonna have to, that's a quick flick. You're not gonna be able to do that smooth because they see you first. You're reacting late. You want to be as faster. Okay, you're just pure speed. Other things when you're improving, when you're aim training, you should be critical of yourself. I personally would record every aim session if you can, or just record aim sessions that you intend to look at, which honestly should be every single one. But you should be critical of yourself. Think about what the problem is. For me, that used to be overflicking, so that's an overflick. So make sure you underflick. You know? Like, that's easy. You overflick. Okay, I'm super bad at missing. You overflick, then let's start underflick. Let's not flick as wide. Maybe another fast. And then build that speed every time. If you look really jittery, if this is weird, okay, let me make them straight because it's weird when I don't want to talk about actual aim mechanics. But if your tracking looks like this, which would be considered jittery, then this is bad, you know. So we want to focus on smoothing that out and tracking it on a smooth line. I'm not actually tracking anything, but you want to be smooth, right? Not how you're aiming. Same thing for the opposite, overflicking, underflicking. If you're constantly underflicking a target, maybe try flicking wider. Okay, that's overflick. But if you're underflick, I don't underflick. So if you're underflick, okay, if you underflick, then you're gonna want to flick wide, you know? Underflick. Really simple stuff. Watch your gameplay, address what's bad, and focus on what's bad. Go back to the aim training and assess that issue, you know? And another thing with aim training, you should be tracking your progress. Track what you did well. Like maybe one day you felt like your flicks were really good. What you did bad, maybe your tracking was bad that day. So the next day we should probably focus on tracking. And then record any changes you made. Did you change your sensitivity? Did you change your crosshair? All the other stuff. Did you change your grip? How tight your grip? How loose your grip is? All these. There's so many trackings of that. And just track it. Like what feels good, what feels bad. Especially if you're a newer player, finding what you're comfortable with is incredibly hard. One misconception I just want to quickly gloss over is aim is not muscle memory. So feel free to change your sense, bro. If your sense is too slow, okay, this is really hot. If your sense is too slow, I mean, obviously just make it go faster. You know? See, a lot of people say you should what's like 200, 400 EDPI. EDPI is just this whatever DPI times your sense, like that. That's your EDPI. That's honestly a useless value. Don't even bother. I think I like CM per 360, which is how many centimeters you have to move to do a full 360. Mine's like 34 centimeters for a full 360, which is like 11 inches. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Main point is find what you're comfortable with. You can be playing at an absurdly high sense, and you can play well. Obviously, it's not for everybody. If you're comfortable with it, you're wondering what my sense is, I'm 6400.058, which is 1600.231. Higher DPI will just be smoother. I would not go over 1600 if you do not have a really good computer. And now, back to improving. You should be setting goals. Obviously, for aim, it'd be the scores, like accuracy, all that other stuff. Maybe you want to pass up a specific person, but there should be something motivating you to improve rather than just your ranked gameplay, whatever specific game you play. Obviously, most of you guys are going to be Valorant players. Don't really focus on rank. We're trying to improve our aim. That's why I don't talk about movement. I didn't talk about cross placement. I didn't talk about map control. I didn't talk about any of the game sense mechanics. Wondering more about the aim sense or the game. It'd be aim, movement, and then game sense. Those are 3 core aspects of Valorant. I'm not going to go over any of those. This is pretty much just aim. Now, just to sort of like centralize it a little more, I guess, is how do you improve faster? You can play a generalized playlist by like Voltaic or West Proter, Prosper aims, all these people, they have great, I mean, even Bardos or Matty OW, they all have great aim routines, aim like for Valorant. I mean, just pick a playlist and like you would eventually over time you'd iron out all your weaknesses and you'd be able to find out, and you would, but that's gonna take forever, and we don't want it to take forever. And we're trying to improve as fast as possible. We don't have time. Like maybe we don't have time to play an hour of aim training, which is how much time I would recommend you to play. At least an hour or 40, or at least 40 minutes actually. But an hour is probably ideal. Don't overdo it. Don't underdo it. You know, it's just know yourself. You know, I would say know your body, but this, I mean, I guess it is know your body. Don't overwork your wrist. Matty OW has said that a lot of times. But during his grind to the champion, he hurt his wrist by overtraining. You can see that in any sport. It's no different from Valorant. If you overtrain, you will get injured, and injury is literally just the quickest way to lose everything. Now, how to actually improve faster? Focus on a task. Pick a task. I'm in the range. Okay, it's not good, but focus on a Kovac scenario. Let's just say one wall, two target. Okay. Let's say these are two targets.
On my mark.
Whatever. Like, you want to push for score, or do you want to push for accuracy? Like, focus on something, and then after you do that, review that aim training scenario. Labs has a replay system. You can look at that after every single play, but figure out what you did bad on that specific run and why it wasn't your personal best, and if it was your personal best, why was it your personal best? Right? We need to find what we're doing good. We need to find what we're doing bad. Let's focus more on what we're doing bad there. Talked about it earlier, but looking at those weaknesses, those overflicking, deliberately don't overflick. Once fixed, you're gonna repeat again, find what the issue is, and just fix it. You know, let's just rinse and repeat. It's really not that hard. You can do it with aim, you can do it with movement, you can do it with game sense. It's just like, review your gameplay, guys. I see a lot of people, these really big egos, that they don't need to look at their own gameplay to improve, and those people are the people that have been stuck in the same like KDA, same agent, everything. They haven't changed anything, they haven't improved over the years, and that's why they eventually fall off, and these newer people, these other people plus them up. But yeah, that's how you should improve the fastest. You should find a weakness and fix the weakness, find a new weakness, fix that weakness, and then over time you will just have no weaknesses. It's really that simple. And then finally, just to wrap it up, I want to tell you that aim training takes time. Don't drop it after 1 or 2 days. Don't even drop it after a week, honestly. If you worked out for 3 days and it didn't see any instant improvement and then stop working out, of course you're not going to improve. But if you work out over the course of like months, even just weeks, you're gonna start seeing improvements. Okay, and they're gonna be small at first, maybe they'll be big later, maybe they'll be big at first, but they'll definitely slow down at some point. And at this point, you need to realize that you are actually improving, and you just don't realize it because it happens so slowly, it happens so naturally. But keep applying yourself, keep pushing yourself, and I mean, you'll eventually improve. So for me, Valorant, just push for speed. That's all you need. The fastest people are the people that can aim the fastest. That doesn't mean you need a high sense, but you should just be able to aim really fast. You can see how I under reflect there. Alright. That's my current issue right now. I still under reflect. Yeah, I'm still working on my aim. I don't think my aim is really good. I think these tips should help you though. If you want a more specific, if you want a shorter version, I can release one too, but I just think this should be good enough to help you with starting your aim journey. Don't focus on movement, focus on other things. Focus on improving your raw aim. If you guys like this video, I can talk about movement next. There's a bunch of fundamentals on movement that can make your movement really good, and movement can often compensate for having bad aim. So obviously at the end of the day, you want to have 3 core pillars that you're able to build upon and just rely on them really comfortably. That's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you liked it, like the video, obviously, whatever. Yeah. If you want more guides, I will be publishing more guides. The freaking goat. I'll see y'all later.